Welcome back, my Jedi friends, and today we explore the question, are we living in a spiritual gangster's paradise? Gangster's paradise, folks. Well, I can tell you for certain that I have spent tens of thousands of pounds paying for courses with gangsters. Gangsters. Now, they don't call themselves gangsters. They certainly don't position themselves as gangsters. But when push comes to shove, these are the false prophets. The false prophets, folks. They are prophets, but not the profits that we would expect. They're making profits of idiots like me paying for courses. But that was in the past, folks. I no longer suffer these nonsense. But I mean, it's part of my journey to have explored these ecosystems. So today in this video, I'm going to highlight a few red flags of what to look for. Who are the gangsters? Who are these gangsters? Are they out there? And I can tell you for certain, there's a lot of people that are prepared to take your money, and they've got no idea what they're talking about. Well, that's not strictly speaking true. They've certainly got an idea of what they're talking about, but do they really have the energy? This is about the energy. And what I've found is, unfortunately, the best healers, the best people that I found on the journey, they're so busy doing what they do that they're not so good at promoting themselves. And I've fallen into that bracket for many years, but I found some brilliant people. I've got some great friends doing incredible things, folks, but they're not very good at marketing. And I've been to courses of people that are brilliant at marketing. And when you get there, when I got there, I've just found a load of bollocks. It's a load of bollocks, folks. They don't got no idea what they're talking about. It's obviously a well-rehearsed program that they're putting together, and they're clearly winging it. And one of the big warning signs of this is that they can't answer all the questions that are thrown at them, not in a good way, not in a way that makes you feel, oh, good, thank you. Yes, I can move on now. And I am that fly in the ointment. I have been for most of my life to go to these workshops and to ask inconvenient questions. There's even been a couple of my training programs that I've attended where I have been banned from asking questions because apparently it will stop us from actually teaching the content that we did. If we keep answering your questions, we won't have time for the content, which was a pile of horseshit, I can tell you, folks. And it didn't stop me from asking the questions. Now, there's some incredible people out there that can answer all of your questions, and they're not going to give you any nonsense. That's not going to be an issue. You feel good at the end of it. Answered it to your satisfaction, and everyone moves on. So there's another one. I mean, another training that I went to that was a real red flag is they crammed so many people in this tiny room, and we had to do energy expansion exercises. We had to do things where we moved our hands to do this. We were sat in such close proximity that you couldn't do that without bumping into everyone around you because they'd taken a budget room to cram as many of us in there to expand our energy. To expand our energy, folks, we were in the tiniest room that they could find. It was so bad. It was a 2-day workshop. It was so bad that everybody complained and they had to bite the bullet and get a bigger room for day two because there was this mini rebellion within the room. But I wonder to myself, because I was obviously going around the room calculating how much money did they make out of this and what is their issue getting a bigger room? There was at least 50 people in that room that day, and we're all looking around thinking you're making thousands of pounds and you're cutting back your profits to get a smaller room. It was a terrible experience, folks. But these are the sort of things. These are how you work out who are the gangsters. Because anyone worth their salt in the world of energy, it would not even be a consideration to have it in a room like that. Or at the very least, they would apologize because they've been downgraded or something's happened on the day or there's a good reason for being in that room. Could have been it was an outside workshop and it was so busy raining that we've had to go in. Now that's a different story. But when you're going there and you're realizing all is not well. So the point being, folks, the reason I'm recording this video is because if you're an attendee on a course, some of you that watch this channel are probably more well qualified than some of the people you're paying. Some of you are definitely more qualified than some of the people that you're paying. Now, the problem is that having good pitching skills, having good marketing skills, having good public speaking skills is a completely different skill set to actually having the skills to transform people's lives. Now, in some cases, there are some people out there with both, but they are very, very rare, my Jedi friends. Very rare. The odds are, and here's what I've found through all of my training and all the money that I've paid. The people that have made the biggest difference in my life, and there's one or two exceptions here, so I'm not going to tar everybody with the same brush, but for 80% of the courses I attended, the main result I got was somebody that I met in the audience. And I want that to sink in. People I met in the audience have generally created a bigger impact on my life than the people teaching the courses. And some of the people teaching the courses were such charlatans. Part of me is thinking, shall I list them, Adam? Shall I give their names so that nobody else falls into that trap? But no, I'm not going to, because this is about you trusting yourself and finding out for yourself, folks. And not only that, it's not very spiritual of me to be throwing out or complaining about courses that I went on, because the real spiritual practice here, if there is spirituality involved in that, is asking yourself this question: where is the value of me being here? Now, when I asked that question, I started meeting people in the audience who made the price of the course completely worth it. So I managed to gain value despite some of the teachers or the programs, not necessarily because of them. I absolutely point that out. And I am going to give a shout out here to a very good friend and brilliant energy teacher. And that is my friend Art Geyser, who is one of the real deals. He is a real deal. He was able to answer all of my questions. He really knows what he's doing. And he's completely authentic in the way that he comes across. And my go-to friend who I met at the workshop is another very talented healer, empath, intuitive, and that's Fiona Maguire. She's a good friend of mine, and also Amanda Stedman. Those three, brilliant. And two out of the three I met at workshops rather than went to attend. So there you go, folks. And Fiona and Amanda have more talent than 99% of the people I see selling courses out there. And that's the bottom line, folks. People in the audience. Now, both of them will be quick to admit that their marketing skills leave a little to be desired, but I can tell you for certain the results speak for themselves. And that's what a lot of people that are in this world suffer. They're great at doing what they do. They're not so great at talking about it or bigging themselves up, because there's this paradox. People that are in any way, shape, or form spiritual will feel really uncomfortable bigging themselves up for marketing campaigns. That's the paradox, folks, especially if you're in this world of spirituality. The people who are brilliant at marketing are not necessarily the real deal. Now, some of you will tell me that there are people out there that are spiritual and are good at what they do, and they're brilliant at marketing. They've got good teams. So let's look at people like Joe Dispenza, who is very talented and has got great content and has got an incredible marketing team. But these are exceptions rather than the rules, folks. There's a ton of people out there preaching spirituality or enlightenment or energy work or improve your life or clear your bullshit out, and they do not deliver. They don't deliver, folks. And there's some event companies out there that will take your money and absolutely not deliver and not refund it. And I'd love to give the kick up the arse, because these people have gone on to be doing movers and shakers in business for being absolute arseholes in the early days that I could call out. Now I can either take all this woundedness or these lessons in life and get negative about it, or I can take all of this and record videos like this. So the point being, even if you're in with one of these false teachers or people that aren't dealing, the odds are that it's your job to take value out of that experience. And I can tell you honestly that every single event, even from the absolute charlatans, I have met some incredible people at those events, and I have extracted my own value despite the person that's teaching, not because of them. And there's plenty of them, folks. So this is my message to you. If you are one of those workshop junkies and you're going from person to person looking for the answer, well, the answer is within yourself, my Jedi friends. The answer's within yourself. If you know that you've got the talent, and you probably do know, you're probably too sensitive to arseholes telling you the opposite, or not understanding your unique gifts or skill sets. But the wake up call happens when you realize that you are the one that needs to step up. And frankly, another positive from it, it was only from me going to a lot of these and thinking I could do a better job than this. And for me to reach that level of confidence in my own abilities, they had to be really quite bad at the time. And they were. So that led me to the journey where I'm now recording videos like this, running channels and running my own workshops. And the odds are that you probably need to do the same, folks, if you're watching this video. And a lot of the stuff, the main thing that you need, it isn't spirituality, it isn't more techniques, it isn't gurus in your life. It's just one simple thing, and that is self-confidence, belief in yourself. That is often the missing link. And that is part of where I work with people that come on my courses as well, because I realize this is the missing formula. And frankly, most of the people I attract have unique skill sets of their own, which fascinate me as well. I can learn a lot from my students, from my Padawans. So there you go, folks. There's my little ramble on the gangsters' paradise of spirituality that we face in this day and age, and maybe a little nudge or reminder for you to wake up, and to own your spiritual gifts. And as one final plug, there are still places on my course, which I'll be running, the 3-month course, which I will leave on this video. And I encourage you to step up, to get part of this, to join a program which will help you. Yes, it will teach you some stuff, but the main thing it will do is give you the confidence to step up and do your own thing, folks. That is what I want for you, where the teacher becomes the student. And there's a lot of talented people out there, and you may be one of them. And if that's the case, get on this course, because this will change your life. It will empower you. And apart from everything else I've talked about on any of the other videos or the sales page, this is all about giving you the self-confidence to step up and do what you came here to do. So, my Jedi friends, you will be empowered and self-confident enough to go out and do what you came here to do. And if you're not already, you will subscribe to the channel, because it's going to give you pieces of the jigsaw to keep helping you, to keep drip feeding little doses of confidence to you until you're ready to step up. And speaking of which, there's another one there. So, my Jedi friends, get in touch. Let me know what you think. If you've got any questions, my contact details are on the description of this video, and I look forward to hearing from you.